Hi folks, Dan the Wolfman here. A couple months ago I made a video about the first time I needed a gun, which actually wasn't the first. It was a time when I was 18, apartment complex, screaming, loud woman. That, I guess, I'll tell that another day. Let's talk about the second time. It seemed people like that. And some of these stories and awareness, and this is just the truth. So take from it what you can. Hopefully real world stories will help you out. Okay, so the second time, and most of the times, were when I lived outside Atlanta, Georgia, a few years ago. So I moved back to Georgia after being in South Carolina to try and get back into the acting, stunt, background acting industry. Right at that time, I worked on The Passage and just a lot of background acting before C-1984 flu went around. So I was background acting and, having to work as much as possible. You don't get paid a whole lot, especially in a non-union state. So I was working on one of those elite studios, Tyler Perry, that hangs around with Oprah, who has, certain advisors that raped 76 women on their own daughter, just like Ins did. I got this bad cough. Anyway, extra on Tyler Perry, one of his shows I was really featured on, actually. Suit and tie, I got a nice shirt, like looking like a mafioso enforcer guy. I don't know if that was the one, but anyway, we didn't get off work till about like 1:15 a.m. I was due on set in Atlanta, I think 7:30 check-in time, 8, maybe it was like a 7:30 early a.m. check-in time, farther away from my house. So I had to make a decision, being put in a bad spot. And many people that maybe have to work 3 jobs and take care of their family, like they might have to be working at night. In general, don't go out at night. Don't go stupid places at stupid times hanging around with stupid people. I know this. Here's an example. Had I driven the hour home, it would have been over a 2-hour, like literally over a 2-hour ride in traffic to get to where I was needing to go, and I'd possibly be late and all that. So I decided I'm going to crash in my car. And I had hoped that they had it booked and I could be in their parking lot, because if, signing in at 7:30 or whatever, the people working, the PAs might be there at 7 a.m. Usually the parking lot's open. I go there, and I think it was a cemetery, and it was locked. So everything was locked up. Couldn't get in. So that sucked. So I had hoped also that had that happened, we were shooting at a church. I thought maybe the church might be right there. It was not. So I'm like, I got to get a couple hours of sleep. Where can I park safe? It is real sketch in this area. I drove up and down a few streets. There was literal zombies, walking around. Meth and fentanyl out at 2 a.m. in the morning, approximately. So then I found a small church that was across from this parking lot. Okay, maybe will be with me. I'll park in this church. That way, if like church owner shows up, I can explain the situation. Hopefully, he won't trespass me, call the cops, that kind of thing. Parked at the church. When you got to work, when you're struggling, you do what you got to do. So it was not a good situation. I had made a calculated decision, and things turned out badly. The windows this much, things were okay, except that humidity, I was not able to try and relax on the back, trying to, doors locked, my back's all tinted, there's room for me in the back, that's why I got that vehicle, etc. It kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter. I had to keep lowering the window. And I'm like, I'm not going to lower the back window more than like that. I was hoping so they can't shove a barrel in. But anyway, I had to keep lowering the front. And so I go to lay down on the back. I got a 9mm subcompact. The previous first time video, I had a compact 9mm. This time I had a subcompact double stack 9mm with night sights. Thankfully, this is one of the time where night sights could have been really important. Weapon mounted light wouldn't have helped. I'll tell you in a minute. It would have reflected back at me. It would have been bad. Usually, weapon mounted light's good, but I finally start to doze off, and it's very hard for me in this area to doze off. And then I wake up, and there's a dude with his hand reaching through the front window. Okay, I'm in the whole back, reaching through the front window trying to grab something. I think I had my cell phone with an alarm, maybe in the cup holder. And I just viscerally yell. Okay. He starts to move. I'm like, fuck. Like, I don't know, obviously, I mean, that is a crime. He entered my vehicle. Okay, that's a crime, and a vehicle in the South is considered a home. If you weren't aware of that, the South has a lot of better laws. You cannot do an illegal entry. That's just like going into someone's house. So that's, home invasion, whatever. Black hoodie, I wake up, I draw my gun, I sit up as much as I can, like I'm V'd up. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I hope this guy just yelled. Hope he doesn't react and just fucking kill me to kill me. I see him. He starts hustling back across. So he's by, like, to the right of me now. And he's going by my vehicle. And I don't draw down on him quite yet. Like, I'm getting my gun out. I'm worried I'm going to see a flash of light reflecting off a pistol of his or something. He's got a huge fucking dog with him. And I love dogs, but I mean a huge fucking, like, pit bull or probably dog fighting type dog. Okay. And I draw, and I'm there, and I'm kind of at a low ready, kind of V'd up, sitting at my tailgate. I got night sights, and I'm like, please don't turn around. Please don't turn around. I was worried he was going to turn around. That's the end of the story, other than I was freaked the F out. Night sights are good for finding your pistol. If you sleep with a pistol next to you, you should know exactly where it is when you roll out of bed to grab it. I like DCC clips, monoblock to shove it in your underwear, stretchy pants, whatever you're wearing. Night sights can be helpful. Had he turned around and I saw a glint, I was going to raise up and do what I had to do in the back of my vehicle, right out the back. Tinted windows, back side, and tinted pretty good in back windows. So that's the story. Yeah, I couldn't find anywhere good to move to in sleep because I was worried he might come back. Probably just across the street or something. Zombies up and down now. It's, 4 a.m. Zombies literal in the middle of small streets, house streets. And I'm like, where can I go? Walmart. So I go to Walmart, and I can't sleep. I now jack up. I sleep in the front now, kind of like this. Try not to lower the window too much, with only reclined a little bit. Trying to hide by the A-pillar, and just every bit of movement and light and whatever. Like, I couldn't really sleep. So that is the story of the second time I needed my gun. Had I not been in a stupid place, unfamiliar with the area, not realizing I was going from kind of bad to worse hood area, not knowing the location, in the middle of the night, and maybe it wouldn't have been so bad had that parking lot been open, right? Had I been in like a contained, fenced-in area, or had I not had to put my windows down. But I mean, I was sweltering. I had to keep dropping the window down. Luckily, I had only dropped the front and not the rear down too much. But it could have been worse. And so this is one of the times, no, I didn't have it at the studio where they like violate you and make you go through metal detectors. I had hidden it in the vehicle. I don't like to do that, obviously. Stolen guns out of vehicles are bad, but knowing I might get trapped in the hood or broken down, whatever, outside their entrance, it used to be a huge military base. I did what I did. It's my vehicle in the South. That's my home. Whether it's against your policy or not, you can't F usually in the southern states. Don't like leaving it. Certainly glad I had it. And that is, some of you were like, oh, that's no big deal. He reached in where I was sleeping, like right by me to try and, I don't know, maybe my cell phone was there. Shitty Android you know. So that's the story. So in just a short time here, I had one in South Carolina. This was, I think, my first of many in Atlanta. And there's some lessons there to be learned. And that's the story. So I know it's not the most exciting story, but I hope you like it. There's other stories that are coming. If you guys like this kind of thing, so like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you've had anything like that. That is a time where literally I drew. I didn't bear down. I kept kind of low ready, V'd up, and, you know, ready to do an up drill, basically while doing a crunch. You don't know what shooting position you might be in either. What if he had done this through the front window instead of reaching for something and he had a gun pointed at me? Makes you think. So, anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Kaboom.